Do you love to jump into learn a new programming language? Are you that guy that learned that this is the new best thing and you want to jump right in and see what's about that programming language? Well, you're not alone. Welcome to another day of PR review. So what's going on, guys? I have to explain to you I've been doing the last 6 months. I've been loving learn Rust. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, we all know it. There's a big guy right now on YouTube that we really like to love Rust. But that wasn't the motive. I just started learning because I saw one of the guys, I think Luciano Maximo. I don't remember his name, but he was tweeting about creating lambdas with Rust, and I got really interested in that, and I wanted to check it out. What's about this Rust programming language? And I already have created a kind of a terminal CLI in the past. It calls terminal GPT, and as you can see here, but it was written in JavaScript. So the idea was to create a chatbot where you can interact with not ChatGPT, but OpenAI API into your terminal. It works pretty fun. It was really cool. I think it was a really interesting project to do, and actually got quite a bit of like good support. There was even a contributor that actually turned the JavaScript into TypeScript. I don't know why you need that, but then yeah. So everyone has their own craze about like their own programming language, and I'm really up for that. So when I started looking into my terminal GPT and I wanted to improve that, I wanted to create something that was actually more meaningful and making this more like an AI agent like we see before. But then I wasn't happy on using JavaScript or using third party APIs. So one of the things I wanted to give to other people was an open source project where you can actually own everything. You own from the code to the LLMs. So for that, I created TGS. TGS stands for Terminal Generative Shell. So the TGS, I'll show you here really quickly, is a project that I developed in Rust. So I could actually create this system where you can pull and can download it, and you can own from the source code to the LLM. So you hear this right. I embedded in the AI into the system so you can actually own it. No third-party API, no paying for pulling a bit of strings. The pure, you get it, you own it. So yeah, so that's the main idea, and I passed the last I created this project 7 months ago, but I actually really coded the last 3 months, and I'm gonna explain you what happened during these 3 months. So I can jump a little bit before when I was actually trying to develop the project. So the first thing that I done was to actually define how I'm gonna create this LLM. Should I create this from zero? Should I actually take another LLM and fine tune it? So yeah, the latter was the option because I didn't have much time to gather a lot amount of data. So I preferred to create something that actually has a good fundamentals, and then I could go and improve upon it. So one of the things you have to understand over the CLI that when you create a command, that command is a simple string. So there are a lot of people that are going to argue with that, but at the end of the day, it's a string. So you're passing strings there to generate a command. So one of the things I wanted to get on an LLM was an LLM that get a string and transform this into a string that's actual command. So get your natural text, transform into a command text. So the best one for that was the T5. So I got a T5 small to reduce the size of the LLMs because you don't want it to download a CLI that actually 20 gigabytes to your machine, right? So yeah, I created this fine-tuned model. It's open source. You guys can check it out there. I'm gonna put the links on the description. You can go there, check it out. The notebook, you can improve the results and everything. There is a problem though. Most of the commands are LS, so there is a bias towards this LLM. Something I really wanted to fix it, and I wanted to add a new feature to the LLM as well to incorporate context, to understand context and actually give you a better command output. Yeah, so I passed the first months doing this, I create this fine-tuned model, and then I jump into coding Rust. Was pretty interesting for me because Rust is very easy to understand if you come to a scripting language environment. So I started actually my career in Java, but in the last 10 years I've been working with JavaScript. So it was for me very interesting coming back to a type safety, memory safety, and having scripting language. It was really cool for me to understand, and I read a lot of documentation, but I also use other tools to learn more about Rust, and it was really cool. So the first months I was just like setting up the environment, understanding Rust, and like how I can structure this project. I didn't want the project to be too spaghetti to it because today is already spaghetti enough, and it was really cool to actually throw in like some if and else's here, and yeah, so you can see here how it was like crazy. But then well, yeah, it was me learning the project, learning how to do it, and understand how we can structure the project. So one of the things I see right off the bat is actually the modularization of your Rust project you can do using crates, and this is amazing. Like using crates, you can actually split your project, and people can actually get pieces of your project if you publish these crates on Cargo and use as a library for themselves. That's really cool. It's really cool to create these little libraries that you can expand. I started creating this handler to try to handle the commands. It wasn't quite good, and to see here how not not good it was. And then so I gonna refactor, and I really wanted to add the LLM studio in the project. So before I refactor the handler, I went for to try to create a bridge between the LLM and the project. I think it was a big mistake because I feel like that I should be actually going after more the fundamentals of the CLI instead of actually getting the LLM up and running, because this took me a lot of time to understand how to breach this the LLM. So this was a huge mistake and threw me off a little bit. That's why I stopped quite completely this project. I just came back with it now in the beginning of the year. So that's what's really interesting. So you can see here, I will start structuring the project, creating like more and more crates, and then got to the point. Then I start looking into other projects. So for example, New Shell, Fish, and other CLI projects, they have really good features, and I'm trying to understand what makes their project a good project. New Shell, there's a lot of things that they own their own language that's really interesting. But then I didn't want to create a language on top of my CLI. I just wanted a CLI that runs an LLM. So then I start doing the basics. I start to adding basic stuff. I started to, like creating a handler, creating the Alexa, just to pass all the commands, creating a prompt to create a loading indicator, and creating a shell crate where I can create the execution of everything together there, and then allow the project to be added plugins. So this was very interesting stuff to do and to work with. It took me a lot of time to understand like how I can create my structs, how can I create my implementations. Was really interesting. So you can see here that I have a lot of changes that I've done during the project. And you can see here as well I was making a lot of commits. And I think that's the point. Like when you start learning a new project, you do a lot of oopsies. And then it was very difficult to actually add my LLM into the project. So I can show you here, guys, how how it is today, the integration. I worked with three different libraries to try integrate the model into the project. As you can see here on your left side, this is the model itself. So this is the LLM. And then on the right side here is the code that actually imports and run this model. So in the base, basically, this is the piece of code. It's very simple, no more than 12 lines, I think. 12 lines? No, not more than 20 lines. And I use Pio3 where I could load the I could load the Python code. So that was really interesting to do. I really love it, and then I use this library here, not just like this file here, to load the model in Python. So I use this guy to bridge between the model and Rust, and use Pio3 to load the Python file and execute the LLM. So that's the pretty much what I've done so far. I think I can show you like how it is working today. Let me just open here so yeah, so let's show you guys how the project works. And sorry about the cutting. I screw up here on my recording, so I can show you guys how it's actually working. So let's go here and run the project. So here's the project, and I just wanted to show here a cd dot dot. Okay, it working. wd, it's working. cd, and then tgs. So we have tgs here. Okay, so it's clear here, and I want to list all files in this directory. And see here now the LLM is running. So this LLM is running in my machine, and it found something. Let's see what's gonna found. I see that it's still actually a little bit of delay to show the response, but this is like what is the command. So let's see, it's gonna execute the command. Well, it's not yet implemented. Live code, that's how it is. Okay guys, that's pretty much it, and thank you very much for today. And it was really cool to do this project, and I recommend you guys, when you wanted to learn a new programming language, it's important to you to actually try by doing. And the documentation is there to help you to be a handler for you, and that is other tools as well. ChatGPT is great for that, and other ones as well. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you very much, and this is Yep, you are with you.